I myself, Dr. T. Surendra, faculty of DM College of Teacher Education, August 2021. We organize micro-teaching programs in our college from 18th to 19th of August during the office hours, that is 10 to 3 p.m., having 3 period duration at the duration of 1 hour and the recess of 30 minutes, that is 1 to 1:30. Anyway, micro-teaching is very, very important, and through which our students will equip themselves the necessary teaching skills, without which they could not learn, they could not teach in a very nice ways when they are intern at the practicing schools. And micro-teaching is one of these workshop, is one of the skills through which they will learn in small steps, as teacher could not make any kind of mistakes while teaching is going on. The mistake of teacher is a great fault to the life of the students, and that is why we have to train our students to use different kind of teaching skills, like preparation of the instructional objective, like the lecture method, like the reinforcements, classroom management, stimulus variations, closures, and so and so. So these are the very, very basic skills. So each of the BEd trainees need to learn, because the main purpose of the teacher training under the BEd college is nothing but to equip themselves to be competent teachers, so that our student will not have difficulties while teaching is going on. So micro-teaching's main objective of the micro-teaching is nothing but to train BEd trainee to teach in a very nice and effective way, to have better learning by the small school students, and through which they will teach in a very nice way, and they will serve the purpose of the student also. So nowadays is the learner-based educations. Anyway, coming to the point, micro-teachings. It was first coined by Dr. A.W. Dwight Allen of the Stanford University in 1963. This is nothing but training techniques, and this is nothing but innovative method of the teaching, through which all the small part of the necessary teachings, skills, procedures will be equipped themselves. Now, the micro-teaching is nothing but is a class reduced from 5 to 10 pupils only in the class, and time is reduced from 30 to 35 minutes to 5 to 15 minutes only, and size of the content is also reduced. That is small class, having a small lessons, having a small number of students, having a small part of the lessons. Only one teaching skill is practiced at the times. Definitions. Allen Dwight 1966. Micro-teaching scale down teachings encounter in class size, class times. Parsi BK is also 1976 said that the most important point is micro-teaching is that teaching is practiced in terms of definable, observable, measurable, controllable teaching skills. Objective of the micro-teaching is to lessen the complexities that exist in micro classes. Number 2, to develop confidence in student teachers with adequate motivations. And number 3, to practice teaching in short duration of times, and to identify the differences of students, teachers, to give immediate feedback to enable them to modify their teacher behaviors, and to encourage researchers identify new teaching skills and develop new teaching trainings programs. The important future of micro-teachings. Important features of micro-teaching. Micro elements, technical skills of teachings and then teaching strategies, feedback elements, SEP practice grounds, teaching models, research laboratories. Now, micro teaching procedures, steps in micro teaching cycles with appropriate timings. The first, students will plan the small lessons. Be a trainees plan with small lessons, and they will start the teachings within the 6 minutes, and after that feedback will be given at the duration of 6 minutes. From start to end will be discussed. And number 4, if mistake is happen, replanning should be there with a duration of 12 minutes, and the modified lesson will be taught within the 6 minutes, and the re-feedback within the 6 minutes. So this is a process and procedures of the micro teaching programs. Now, phrases of the micro teachings: knowledge acquisition phrase, pre-active phrase, observe demonstration, skill, analyze and discuss the demonstration given by the supervisor. Skill acquisition phrase, interactive active phrase, prepare micro relations, prepare skills, provide feedbacks. Transfer phrase, post-active phrase, transfer of skills to actual teaching situations. Step involved in micro teachings: orientation, discussion of teaching skills, selection of the particular teaching skills, presentation of model demonstration lessons, observation of the model lessons, and the criticisms, preparation of the micro lesson plan. Practice of the skill as a teach sessions, providing feedback on feedback sessions, replanning, replan session, reteaching, retake session, providing re-feedback session, integration of the teaching skills. Sources of feedback: oral feedback of the laboratory supervisors, questionnaires filled in by pupils learning in micro lessons, audio tape recording, video tape recording during the micro teachings. By audio tape, by video tape, we can know the exact mistakes committed by the peer trainees. Principle of the underlying micro teachings: the first one is practice, the second one is reinforcement and experimentation, evaluations, practice, supervision, and continuity. Role of supervisor: developing ability to perform skills, to understand the skills or application of skills, working with trainees, visiting schools, supervising the lessons, and evaluating the lessons. Apparatus: observation, schedule, checklist, cassette tape recorders, video tape recorders, closed circuit televisions, a movie films, one-way screen, 2 monitors. It's almost same like of the cinema shootings. If mistakes happened, the take will be seen by the actor and actress and directors and producers. If mistakes happen, and then they will see together and they will try to modify themselves, and retake will be there. Same like that of the film shooting. Now, micro teaching is for pre-service and CRP service also. Micro teaching has merits: easing complex of the normal classroom teachings, more manageable than classroom teachings, focus on particular skills, all observable demonstration, quantifiable skills, conducive and healthy atmospheres, immediate feedback, cater to individual differences, help in reducing time in energies, modification of behavior, and learning of specific tasks. Limitations: costly narrow scopes, disturbing existing timetables, presentations in part, difficulty in actual practice, feedback, require equipment, require trained, competent teacher, educator, skill-oriented and not have, and provision for the content orientations. Micro-teaching alone is not sufficient. And this is the difference, comparison between micro-teaching and traditional teachings. Micro-teaching is relatively simple. Traditional classroom teaching is complex. Micro-teaching is controlled laboratory situations, and traditional teaching uncontrolled actual classroom situations. Micro-teaching is 5 to 10 students only, and the normal classes is 35 to 40 students. So normal normal classroom is heavy and voluminous, one skills at a time, and traditional teaching is several skills at a time. And number 5 to 10 minutes only, and then 40 to 50 minutes in traditional classes. Immediate feedback and no immediate feedback in the traditional classes. Provision for reteaching and retaking. No provision for reteachings, because normal classes cannot be started from the beginnings. But in the micro-teachings, if mistakes happen, the reteaching can be done. Gain and confidence. Improvements there. But in the traditional classes, train and scare. This is one time, like radio news, television news. It does not repeat. Now, micro-teachings, Ellen's 14 skills, and then Mrs. Singh's 1970 22 skills, Mion's 1993 74 skills, and Dr. B.K. Pasi 1975 13 skills. Now, type of the micro-teachings, common skills are there: skill of introduction, skill of explaining, skill of questioning, skill of demonstration, skills of reinforcement, skill of closure, skill of stimulus variation, skill of blackboard. These are some of the basic common micro-teaching skills. And skill of introductions: utilization of previous experience, use of appropriate devices and techniques, questionings, narration, storytelling, demonstration, using audio, visual aids, dramatization, use of examples, maintenance of continuity in ideas, and the relevancy of verbal and non-verbals. So introduction of lessons is very, very important, through which students will be motivated to the day's topics. Skill of explaining desirable behavior, using appropriate beginning statements, using explaining links from one ideas to another. It should not be jumbled from one to another. Testing pupil understandings, using appropriate conducting statements. Understandings behavior, using relevant statements, lack in continuity of statements, inappropriate vocabularies, verb, and then phrases. These are the desirable behavior. And skill of questioning, so type of these questions. What are the type of the questions? It should not be very heavy one. It should not be simple one. The question should not be yes or no type questions. And the skills of asking questions, it should be distributed equally in the classrooms also. It should not focus only the first bencher or last bencher. In between also, that everybody should be active. Skill of probing question also. And type of the questions also: lower order questions, such as in textbooks. Simple questions might be there in the textbooks. Middle order questions, answer in noun and sentences. This is understanding life or the skill type. And then higher order questions, that is in the form of application also. So we can raise the type of the question in the classrooms, the lower, middle, and higher also. Questioning skills, as far as questioning question skill also. And the skills of probing question also: prompting technique, seeking further information, refocusing, redirections, increasing critical awareness. So yes, probing questions. Okay, we will give the signal that we will start questions, and it gives to think deeper and deeper also. It's very, very important in many steps of the lesson plan. Simplicity, conciseness. Questions should not be very lengthy one. Relevancy to the topics. Specificity, it should not be big one, vague one. Grammatical correctness should be there. Clarity and audibility. The voice of the teacher should be listened to, even last bencher, in a clear method, in clear way. Skill of the blackboard: legible handwriting, neatness in writings, orderliness in writing, variation in writings, appropriateness, adequateness of blackboard with reference to correct cover, continuity, relevancy in writings, underlines, importance points, and use of color chalks, use of chart, table, diagrams, and pictures. Skills of demonstration: clear objectives, relevance, equipment, apparatus, handling techniques, techniques in arranging apparatus, student participation, blackboard use, and giving the explanations. So during the demonstration also, we should not use only the teaching aid, we should use even the teaching aid also. We should use board also. Visibility, what we are writing, what we are showing the teaching aids, pointing to the details, focus, the attention, manipulation of various parts, clarity of explanations necessary, sequencing the demonstrations, and using the precautions. The skills of illustration with example, concrete example, entering the example, relevant example, appropriate media, teaching aids should be used. Skills of reinforcement, desirable behavior, positive verbal reinforcements, positive extra-verbal reinforcements, positive non-verbal reinforcements, use of extra-verbal clues, repeating and rephrasing, writing pupil answers. When students are responding yes, by moving the heads. If something is wrong, by shaking the heads. So this kind of, yes, showing the hands also, stand up also, by showing the movement of the hands also. These are some of the reinforcements. Undesirable, the use of negative verbal reinforcement, negative non-verbal, wrong use of reinforcement, inappropriate use of reinforcement. We should be careful about the reinforcements. Skill of achieving closures, revisions, recapitulations, remarks, blackboard summary, and home assignment. So these are some of the skills of the closer also. Revision is very, very important. Any doubt, recapitulation, okay, if you understood, then I will write some questions relating to what we haven't learned, some remarks, blackboard summaries might be there, and then for classroom learning is not quite enough. We need to give even home assignment also for the self-studies, because self-learning is best. And skills of stimulus, variation, movement, gesture, change in speech pattern, focusing verbal, just the verbal nature, change in interaction styles, posings, oral, visual, switchings. Link lessons is also very, very important. Link lessons, time, class size, number of skills, number of concepts is also very, very important. So with this, it is into of the micro-teaching class, and different skills and different uses and different do's and don'ts of the different skills to be acquired by every BEd trainees before the internship started. It may be very helpful. I think that it may be very, very helpful to everyone. With this, let me stop here. I am Dr. T. Surendra, faculty of DMCTE Imphal, Manipur. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.